By the end of development, we were able to achieve not only what we had agreed to, but much more with ownership of the solution. Isn't that quote from an actual customer of ours the kind of feedback we want to hear from our customers? It can happen only when they committed to positive adoption. Adoption. What is that? To address what it is not, it's not just a buzzword. Adoption is your customers' buy-in and positive implementation of their new dynamic system. Though the data and functions and features hold a high level of importance, none of that means anything unless the people who will be using the system adopt it. The adoption begins with leadership, but before that, it starts with you, the sales professional, consulting with your prospects and communicating clearly just how important adoption is for your prospect's business outcome and ultimate success in Dynamics 365. To accomplish this outcome, the Alithya Adoption Program is designed to offer the greatest value to every customer that we can possibly give them. Though the Alithya Adoption Program begins the bulk of its implementation after go live and is on the roadmap that leads to the business's outcome realization, the conversation of what it is and how it benefits our customers has to be had at the prospect level. Imagine being able to set yourself apart in your sales meeting because you can offer your prospects a rare industry gem. So how does the Alithya Adoption Program work? Our partnership with our customers goes beyond conversation. Certainly, after go live, we want to be able to say with the customers, yes or no, we do or do not have adoption based on the criteria we came up with together. That is a means of objective measurable data that gives a true picture of the organization's users' buy-in response. This is vital because the longer a customer goes without establishing adoption, or even realizing that they have an adoption program available to them, the harder it is to ever go back. Internal resistance within many companies can and does happen, and most companies who get resistance don't even know that they are until it's too late. The Alithya Adoption Program has tools to give clear insights to those in charge of their organization's adoption process. Using the tools and strategy at our disposal, along with our commitment to work with our customers, will help steer them away from detrimental and a costly outcome. When we have post-go-live conversations with our customers, we want to avoid vague responses from them. Responses such as, oh, adoption is going pretty good, people are starting to pick up and use it. There's no true measurement of what that means, and no clear data to measure by. That is a problem we can resolve. Let's consider the downfall of a failure of adoption. Frustration in our customers by not gaining compliance from their employees. Lack of belief in the new system because employees fail to see and accept the benefits offered from it. The longer important data is lost due to employees' failure to input important information into the system, the longer a lack of adoption continues. And of course, there is the time and the money it'll cost to begin a late adoption plan with those employees already having established in their mind an avoidance of their new Dynamics CRM. If adoption is not embraced, the company can give up on using the CRM altogether and their business is hindered, as well as having potentially lost a lifelong business partner. Now, who is the Alithya Adoption Program for? It can serve customers who are not even ours, who are struggling with adoption. It can serve any new customer to us. It can serve a customer we follow up with down the road only to find out that they are struggling in their own area of adoption. So, how does the Alithya Adoption Program work? As a company, we are all about discovering our customers' business outcomes and working with them toward a place where they can see those goals become reality. When they are about to implement their new CRM, someone from the Alithya team will meet with them and have another conversation about their business outcomes and what they wish to achieve. From there, we will create a set of adoption criteria. These adoption criteria are the measurements by which we can drill down and know that if adoption did not work, it is because a particular piece of criteria was not followed. Adoption criteria will fall into three areas. Access. Are people getting into the system at all? Data. Are the people who are getting into the system Entering the right data that we know will lead to the business outcomes? For example, if salespeople are not entering leads into the system until they know that they're going to close their prospects, that will present a very unrealistic, skewed view of the true story of what's going on. Process. Are they following the process that has been defined that will lead to the desired outcomes? Meaning, for example, if an organization's goal is to filter down to their most qualified prospects, how can they do so if all the unnecessary data is not being initially inputted by the users? To serve your customers' needs, we can create simple Power BI dashboards for each of those three categories: access, data, and process, that will give a real-time, true, and objective measurement of data-driven analysis that gives no doubt as to what is happening. For example, if a customer needs to know if employees are even using the CRM, we can create a visual of how often those employees are accessing and entering records and data. That powerful information can aid management in their training and encouragement of their system's users on how to use Dynamics. Furthermore, identifying who in the company will be responsible to manage their adoption process will allow Alithya the opportunity to have someone to go to and address any issue of a lack of adoption or user buy-in, should that be the case, and for further coaching as our customers get more comfortable and proficient with the process, empowering them to manage their own needs. Those meetings also give us ground for further conversation with their company and, if needed, a place to step in and assist. Through the Alithya Adoption Program, we will meet with the customers once a month for 4 months after go live. We will appropriately transition the ownership of the dashboard over to the point person in their company responsible for moving the adoption forward. The 5th month after go live will be a meeting to review and allow for a full handing off of the baton, though will still be available if needed. It is important to note that buy-in and adoption begins at the leadership level, and it is those leaders who should be the first to be enthusiastic and willing to step in and adapt to the new process, setting the pace and example for the rest of the organization. As a few points of consideration, we would recommend leadership to ask themselves, how are we acknowledging and responding to feedback today? Are we celebrating milestones, and if so, how? Are we celebrating and acknowledging users or even customer successes when they occur? Getting your customers to begin thinking about how they will encourage their team towards success in the new system will not only set a positive groundwork for adoption success, but will also serve to visualize Dynamics 365 as their own CRM before they've even said yes to your proposal. These simple but meaningful encouragements can go a long way to establishing a want within your users to continue committing to their new CRM. The faster and more effective the customer adoption process, the quicker they will be to getting to those absolutely important business outcome realizations that they really want and we want for them. Every single prospect you meet with needs an adoption program. It is far too important to neglect, and to not provide them one would be doing them a disservice. The Alithya Adoption Program only benefits our customers and really sets their roadmap for success.